What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sivaady Unleashed, and let's get right into this. I have a great barn burner for you today. We have Rosie O'Donnell. You know what's funny about Rosie? She claims she's the star of the movie The Flintstones. Like, she's opened up a couple of her little TikToks by saying that. That's how you know this woman's completely out of touch with reality. Listen to this nonsense that she has to say about what's been taking place in Chicago. Roll it.
I've been reading a lot about what's happening in Chicago. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that Donald Trump and his minions are getting away with this bullshit. You know, horrible racist behavior, horrible domestic terrorism. It's unbelievable. Going into a city that doesn't need any help. Democratic cities only, you notice, even though the poorest cities are the Republican ones. I don't know. It's so ridiculous and it's so fractured. And I just hope we can get rid of him as soon as possible, because what damage he's doing will not be really fixed for decades. Decades, ladies and gentlemen. Really.
Even that little bit right there just makes my whole head hurt, just instant headache within seconds listening to this clown. So now it's domestic terrorism to uphold the law of the United States of America. That's what's happening now. When you go and you say, listen, we're going to make sure people follow the laws of this country. Now you're a domestic terrorist. That's what she's calling ICE, DHS, Trump, the entire administration, by holding people accountable. If you came into the country illegally, you broke the law. It's that simple. And that's what they're doing, getting these people out of the community. There may be somebody that hasn't committed any crime whatsoever as far as crossing the border illegally. Doesn't matter. If you came here illegally, that's a crime in itself, and you must go back. You have to come across and do it the correct way. And she knows that, but once again, this is their new voting bloc. And then she has the audacity to say that Chicago doesn't need the help. See, so that's what I was saying a couple of videos previous to this one. It doesn't matter if 200 people were shot in a weekend and over 100 people passed away. It doesn't matter. These people they love just chaos and destruction. They don't want it to end. They have no problem with Chicago having people getting clapped on a daily basis in their city. They don't see nothing wrong with it. And by Trump helping, now they're labeling these people domestic terrorists. These people are out of their minds completely.
What's your message, final question, to the people here of the state of Illinois, the people of the city of Chicago, as this incursion by the federal government, these troops are on the streets of your state, of this city? What do you want them to do? There's a big protest scheduled for 5:30 p.m. tonight.
Well, first, we've made sure that people know their rights and they know how to find out what their rights are, because we don't want them picked up off the streets just because they're brown or black, just because they happen to be undocumented and have committed no crime.
And also what I find funny about Rosie here is she keeps saying we. Hold on, didn't you move to Ireland? Didn't you completely leave the United States of America? So what do you mean we? That's how deranged this individual is. Just by a politician, somebody on TV, she cannot handle it, so much so that she uproots her and her family. I believe she has a couple kids here in the States, but she took one of her kids with her or whatever. But you uproot your kid from probably school or whatever was going on to say, listen, I can't handle being in the States with this person that I'm never going to even meet. I'm never going to speak to or anything. For my own sanity, I'm going to depart the country. But it doesn't help, because all you do is sit up and talk about the individual anyways. So it doesn't make a difference. And then you keep claiming we. There is no we. You're not here. And then that's when Trump said that he should revoke her citizenship, and she completely lost her mind. Like these people, even once Trump's long gone, you know what I mean? He's hanging out with the grandkids, sitting in a rocking chair. These people, I truly believe that the TDS is uncurable, and they will live with this disease for the rest of their lives, because there's no helping these people, as you can clearly see when you look into this woman's eyes as she speaks. And lastly, she does kind of make a little thing at the end. It's going to take decades and decades to change what he's done. No, yeah, actually in a good way, because that was their plan at the end of the day. That's why the borders were just swung wide open. They don't care about the black vote anymore. They don't care about any of these people that they fool hook, line, and sinker with all their propaganda and race of the Republicans, this and that. They were counting on these illegals to be their next demographic, their next voting block, to vote majority, just probably at a 95% clip for Democrats. This is, you guys were allowed in here. We've let you guys do whatever you want. Now you're going to return the favor. And now all that stuff's getting flipped. That's why you see these people going to the mat to protect these illegals. It doesn't matter when they come out on the news and they say, oh, this person's a child predator, this person robbed 7 banks, this person's wanted for 3 different murders, we got these people out of the city and they've been deported. They don't care about none of that. They just want to protect these people no matter what kind of crime they committed. I'm telling you, these people completely gone. And I don't think people really appreciate the fact that if Trump was not elected, think about the absolute dumpster fire that would be going on currently. Just, the border would fully still be open. The people be coming over, just millions and millions. It would just decay and get worse and worse. And that's what you were looking at. You literally dodged the bigger than a 50 cal bullet by Kamala not being elected. If that woman got in, all these problems that you see would be exacerbated. It would be 10 times worse than what it is. But we're getting these people out of here, and that's the point, and they can't stand it, as you can see by the amazing Rosie here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.